fancy.
Otherwise I'm locked out and on the path.
Oh well.
That wind's cold, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Blow my neck. So how are you today?
Not bad, not bad.
Good. Sunshine. Yeah.
I know.
But I don't have the 70 sunglasses, I'm afraid. I sat on them and broke them. I'm totally gutted.
That was clever.
So, what would you like to get out of today?
Bay parking.
Okay.
And that is the only thing I think of. That.
Well, that's all that we didn't cover on the last one.
Yeah.
How about then? We did some general driving about, and a Bay Park. How about we rerun that lesson where we went over to Wakefield and back? That seemed like a plan.
Yeah.
You know where you're going. I don't.
That's fine. I brought calendar for later.
Oh, righty ho. So I mean that gives us probably, in general driving terms, one of everything.
Yeah.
Pedestrian crossings, traffic lights, crossroads, roundabouts, busier situations, some country roads, some faster moving roundabouts, and then a Bay Park when we get to the end. And you have to do all your own navigating because I don't know where I'm going. So, totally independent driving.
Yeah, I don't think instructor aren't listening. Test will trust me to do that, will we?
No, that'd be alright, wouldn't it? I'd like you to just drive for about 35 minutes, just go where you fancy. So, okay, how about we just sit here?
Yeah. I drive to the end of the street, is that alright? I'm back again to go up and down.
It's nice to see the sunshine for a change though, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, I'll go this way.
Okay.
But then I'm going to go right because I'm not sure where the bin bins have gone.
Ah, well, good point.
And they usually like to block up the middle of the road, so I'll go this way instead.
Makes sense. Yeah, because they did head out that way, so good call. It's made life a little interesting, isn't it? Small child to be running on its own.
That's a bit scary, isn't it?
Makes me shudder when I see stuff like that. It doesn't take long for that sort of situation to go wrong.
No. Oh, wait. We're right, aren't we? Think we're going to Castleford?
You can go wherever you want.
Oh, that's just typical.
Not what you can do, is it?
No. That one was hiding.
Where did it came from?
Some, I don't know, some maybe down there.
It came out of there exactly the same time as you did. But you spotted him and sped up. So, did you keep yourself safe there, Nick?
Yeah.
That's what matters at the end of the day. It's all about being safe, about looking at the risks that you encounter and assessing them properly and acting upon what you see. That's what makes good drivers.
I think cold motors are out today.
It is a Friday.
True. Getting too close to the weekend, it sends people crazy.
Yeah, could be. Or maybe they've started drinking early.
There we go.
And in the early days when you're driving, it's even after you've passed your test, it's learning to trust yourself. Same thing on any kind of assessment or test as well. It's just very easy to think that you have to do something different because it's your test. What's on your mind at the minute as you drive along here?
Driveways.
What else?
Not sure really.
What do you make of the guy following you?
It's a bit up in ball.
Were you aware of that before?
Yeah.
That's why I asked you. I thought you were.
It's good you don't have to stop hastily yet, isn't it? It's gone now anyway.
But when you spotted him earlier on, were you aware of what you did about it? Or is that a subconscious thing?
Damn clue.
You slowed down a little bit to give yourself more room in front. Not sure if you'd just done that automatically or whether it was a conscious thought.
No, not conscious.
Good. That's a good thing. How do you feel about those roundabouts now?
Fine. I think it's a far to do it.
You're right. Is 40 still your favourite speed?
Yeah, I think so.
For the same reasons as before or different?
It's just fast enough.
Fair enough.
You feel like you're getting somewhere, but you're not going crazy.
drivers. I mean, what about the guy that's following you now?
Yes, there's plenty of space.
Yes. So it's taking account, being a good driver is all about taking account of your surroundings and acting accordingly, really. Little section of road.
Looking for cyclists on that one because there was a cycle lane. Checking for anybody coming up inside in case they were trying to turn.
Yeah. Do you have your eye on anything else?
I don't think so.
You noticed the red car that was coming from the left? I thought I saw you look at him, that's why I asked. He was a long way off, but there was the potential for him to come to where we were. I thought you'd spotted him. It's good that you're honest. I'm going to say, oh yeah, him. I saw him. Stopped here, car that was behind me shot through the bus lane. And I just
Really?
thought, my God. I can't remember why I ended up out here. I was looking for, what's the garden centre of this?
Victoria, Spring Green.
Spring Green, yeah. And I'd obviously gone the wrong way. Can we go?
Oh, I can't. I'm looking at that one over there.
I thought you were.
Dear me.
See how nice the people behind us were. No horn tooting,
No
none of that
honking, no
nonsense.
nothing.
That's somebody who remembers what it's like to learn to drive. You just never know, do you?
No,
You
it's
just
sort of
never
like
know.
a double wide lane, and it's
nicely done. Joggers, it's a bit cold for jogging.
Well, gosh, been jogging anyway, any time of year.
I used to do a bit of jogging. Obviously I don't now. Do you find merging with faster moving traffic now?
Fine. As long as I know where they're coming from and I can see far enough round bend.
I stayed in red a long time.
Hope that were a pothole and not else.
Yes, it would do.
That'd have been a bit scary.
Yeah, this is the time of year when they start appearing.
Got frost in there.
section where all the pedestrians have a death wish, isn't it?
Yes.
I remember it from last time. It's a place I never come out, even though it's probably my closest city, really.
That's a good pub. 2 for 1 and cocktails.
Oh. The Weatherspoons.
No, I don't think so. It's. I think it is a chain one, I think, but it's not with the spoons, it's something else.
Didn't get much of a chance of them, do you?
No, not really. Yeah, death wish.
Yep. City dwellers, it's always the same. Traffic doesn't concern them, they'll happily step out in front of moving vehicles. Then people do things like...
They've already started before lights even gone off.
You also find that in cities, busier cities, that people sat at T-junctions will happily take the chance and pull out in front of you, thinking, well, yeah, you'll slow down. You were ready for him, though.
It's a good job, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it is.
Otherwise, it'd have been on pavement by now.
And of course, there's a shaped dent in his bum.
This is the worst bit. Pedestrians. They always like to run across here every 2 seconds.
Well, he stepped out without looking at all.
Yeah.
I would never take that kind of blind leap of faith. You end up squished. But it's city living, makes people live their life at 1,000 miles an hour. That's why I'm not a fan.
You're going to make me do that horrible roundabout in a minute, aren't you?
I haven't made you do anything. Just a minute, who chose the route? Okay.
No signal? Oh no, cheers.
You knew what she was going to do, though.
Yep.
I seen her recall you handling this quite nicely last time, if I remember right.
It's horrible though. Or did his reverse lights just come on then?
I think they did.
actually gone the wrong way on it, whatever.
No matter. As long as you know your way back.
Oh, I can get to Cinema from this way. I meant to go
Oh,
that
wait a
way,
minute,
but
we
I
came
can go
out this way last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we just done a reverse loop. So could you have got out of there any quicker?
I think there was one point where there's two cars that were covering me that way, but I don't think the van had quite got out the way in front of me, so
It would have been...
I'd have had to be really quick.
Yeah. So would you say well, any of that could have been put down as hesitancy?
Not really, it was more a case of I'd have to be super, super quick.
Oh yeah, it had to be like a coiled spring. When you live in places like, well, maybe a bit like Wakefield, but like Leeds and London and Manchester, you've got your reflexes kind of sharpen, I suppose, because you've only got the tiniest gaps on them, so you've got to learn to pounce on them when they come. Almost to the point of being aggressive, which is never a good thing. But sometimes it's the only way you can get out. And we might struggle to find a space today.
Lego movie came out last week though, didn't it?
Oh, maybe down the bottom.
There we go. Well, I wonder if we could actually see markings.
I was going to say, I struggle to see the lines here. They look a bit clearer up there. But not a lot.
No.
But still, that's what you're dealing with when you come to these places.
Okay. Try again.
What do you reckon?
I think we're a little bit out at this side.
How much?
Not much.
Not a lot.
I can't see the markings.
It's difficult, isn't it? What else made life hard here?
Son.
What
and
else?
then kids.
It's actually on a bit of a hill and all, you know.
Yeah, true, it is.
So it's, you know, when you took an adjustment as you came back, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. I think you were probably going to be alright, you know.
Really?
I don't think you were going to be as far off as you maybe thought you were. So okay, so Mark said a 10 for that.
Probably about an 8.
Okay.
It's a bit squiff.
How much of a bit?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Not quite straight.
How would you compare it to that one?
Possibly about the same.
Yeah, so it's not far off, is it?
No.
That's great. It's good. You're under control. You're reasonably accurate, and you've taken good all-round observation. Every time there was a noise, you paused, and you had a look to see what it was. A lot of the time it didn't affect you, but you always, so you're aware of what's around you. So if you look at the drive across here, I mean, are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Cool. In terms of the drive across here, how would you rate that? Where would you see what do you see was your best bit?
Try to remember.
Or what did you enjoy the most?
I enjoyed them first 2 little roundabouts at top of Norway.
Okay.
They were fine. And
What was it you enjoyed about them?
just because it was like straight flow, I didn't have to stop because there were no traffic. Well, there was, but I sort of,
I was just going to say, right,
But
why
with
didn't
them-
you have to stop?
because I timed my approach. So,
There was a wagon, wasn't there, coming quite
Yeah.
quick from the right. Yeah, you were
Yeah.
happy to go.
yeah.
Okay. So if we compare that to 3-4 weeks ago when we were doing them, how does it compare?
Not bad.
What else did you enjoy?
Not sure really.
Okay. Is there anything you'd want to do different?
Make sure I go right way when I pull out of that roundabout. The way that I was intending to go.
That's okay. Well,
I confused myself with my signal to start off with because the signals go all the way around and I meant to go straight on. So I confused myself to start off with.
well, how did you handle that then?
I just went all the way around.
Which is the safest option?
Yeah.
Cool. So if you looked at the drive as a whole, how would you rate yourself there? Good, bad, in between? You can mark it out of 10. You can, whatever you like.
Fine, I don't think there's any major disasters, so
How do you think you handled that really busy roundabout? Because it was very busy today.
yeah. Fine, I just sat and waited.
You didn't look like you were worried about it. You didn't look like you were stressing about it. Have you kept yourself safe all the time?
Yeah, I think so.
Were you aware of what was around you? It's
Apart from that red car.
well,
But he was a bit far off from what he said, so.
well, he was. I mean, you know, it's just that I caught him in the corner of my eye because I always scan that far
Yeah.
across. It's all the Rospa stuff that we do. You're always doing that, and I thought you looked at the same time, but I think you were just looking in your
Checking in the
mirror,
mirror.
which is fine. But no, I mean, you're aware of what's around you when there's. The reason I asked you about the car that was behind you, because I saw you look in your mirror, and I felt you slow down. I thought, well, there's nothing in front of us. Wonder why you've done that.
I don't like when people are up my bum.
Well, you allowed yourself more time in front by slowing down. I mean, nobody does. And it's always a complete joy for me when they see the red car that was behind you then, who gave you the right amount
Yeah.
of space. But you're adapting what you do according to what's around you. And that's what makes good drivers. So that's great. There's so many great things that you did coming across. You're super aware of what's to the side of you now. And there's lots of little things like...
I think that helped with practice on Sunday because my boyfriend kept saying you keep missing these mirrors. I'm just sort of looking at one all the time, so.
Well, it isn't so much, there's a big debate raging at the minute on the channel. It isn't necessarily about, because I was always trained, if you're going to check that one, check one of them. And I just do it as a routine. I slavishly follow it. And then I took it even further. I check all of them now.
Yeah.
So if I'm moving to the right, I go mirror, mirror, mirror. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I think, well, what am I looking for? You know, if I go past a parked car and I'm going to pull back in, what am I looking for in here?
Yeah.
how's anybody going to get there?
Yeah.
It's just, now sometimes
There's no space, so there's not a gap. So
if I feel under threat, or if I'm aware that there's other things around me, then I'll do the extra checks. But it's not about check this, then this, then this. It's about, do you know what's about? You know, you're acting accordingly.
I tend to think check the way you're going. So if you're going to lane that side, you check this side, if you know what I mean, and then look there. So sort of check where you're moving to.
But it's, and you know, I'm happy sat here that you've been aware of everything that's been around you and you've acted accordingly. There's lots of little things that started to happen that you're developing for yourself. Like when we came, well, I've kind of lost my bearings, but when we first came in and we came up those traffic lights where I said they've been on red a long time, just before that you took a wider position in the lane. Can you remember why you did it? I know why I think you did it.
Was that the one where they had all the people crossing?
Yeah. But just before that, you checked around and moved out a bit.
I'm not sure, I can't remember.
I thought you'd done it because of that window cleaner. You know, the guy with the pole?
Yeah.
Because it was.
Well, I did see him, I thought he looked like Where's Wally? So that's the first thing that hit me when I saw him.
I'm maybe, but
I do tend to, from outside, I do tend to kind of avoid it a bit.
But it's just, you were aware of it and then took a wider approach. And then there's another place where we were coming, we're in the right-hand lane, and there's two lanes, and further ahead it merged back to one lane. And early on, you checked your mirrors and you tucked in and said to people behind, well, I'm coming across you, so I'm taking that place. But you didn't do it until you were sure. So, but it's those little things that, I mean, the key thing and the reason behind all of this is that it's, you know, I've given you hardly any instruction ever, and you've learned on your own. And it's the thing that's teaching you is the experience you're having. Yeah. Experience is the teacher. We've been doing a lot of research on this recently. A guy called Tim Galway wrote this book, The Inner Game of Tennis, and it's fascinating. And that's what it's about. You experience something, you replay it in your head, you work out what you liked, what you didn't like, you work out what you might do different next time, and then you try something different next time, and then you work out whether does that work for me or not. And that's how we learn everything. Yeah, that's how you taught yourself to walk and talk.
In school they did something about positive thinking, so if you rehearsed a scenario in your head, it can become completely made up, but the more you want it, the more you rehearse it, the more likely it's going to happen.
Well, if you tell somebody often enough they're stupid, they'll start to believe it. Yeah. But by the same token, you can start visualising yourself being successful at things, and maybe it doesn't help, but it doesn't hurt. No. It's like taking, you know, somebody gives you a magic tablet, you say, take this, it'll cure your ills. Sometimes it will if you believe it will. Yeah. So by the same token, thinking of it in terms of test, you can drive yourself nuts by worrying about, well, will I fail for that? Will I fail for that? Will I fail for that? What you need to do is to just develop the same level of trust in your driving that I've got. Yeah. And just do what you normally do.
Well, that's what I was planning on doing. I thought, well, because the only reason I'm bothered about the test is the fact that I don't want to have to pay again. I'm not bothered about, you know, being told off or whatever, because I'll just do my own thing, and if you don't like it, it's tough luck. Well, you know what I mean? It's just a case of I don't want to have to pay again. That's the only thing that's for me.
That's fair enough. I see you are from Yorkshire.
Yeah, it's just a money thing. Thinking if you can get it done in one, it's like it's all good, then I don't have to pay again. And I have to take another day's holiday to do it as well. So
I mean, that's the thing. People get themselves convinced they've got to do something different because it's the test. You just do just what you do. Just show them your stuff. There you go. This is what I do.
I'll even say, "Let me drive you away, Field. I'll go if you want."
That's great stuff. Do you want to make your way home?
Yeah. I saw in Claire's video.
All right.
That they did mock test with that other guy.
Yes.
What was it? And he said at beginning test telling her what she'd be doing. But you know, he said we might put an emergency stop in there. Yeah. Would that be like a natural occurring emergency stop, or would he just say stop and she'd have to do it?
Well, it would be. They would set it up unless a real one happens.
Yeah.
And they would just pull them up the side of the road and say, shortly I shall ask you to stop, as though it was an emergency.
Oh, so like you do it in lessons and then they just stop.
Just exactly the same wording. Right. And he'll always look behind and go, stop.
Yeah.
What's your viewpoint on that, the mock test thing?
I suppose it's good. Because it gives you like a bit of a run it up, so you know exactly what to expect, exactly what they're going to say, sort of thing. Other than obviously they're going to pick different things to test you on, but you sort of know the format for it and how it's going to roll.
Yeah. How do you think it worked for Claire?
I didn't watch the full video. No, I just watched parts of it.
It introduced a level of doubt in her head that didn't help her at all. And I'm convinced that mock tests are a bad way to do.
I suppose I think it's good for the format and the pattern of it, so you understand what's going to happen and what's going to go on. But I don't think you should give them any results. You should just say, "Oh, you've done well today, well done," and walk off and not tell her. And then maybe have a word with instructor later to say, "Oh, she needs to check her whatever."
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're putting self-doubt in their head and they're a bit like, "Oh crap, you said didn't check my mirrors, then I'll test it all like this," constantly.
Claire got herself, following that, Claire got herself obsessed with mirrors.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what I say. The seed of doubt is sown and it'll grow.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I'm not sure mock tests are a good idea. But I like your idea of just doing the drive.
Format. I just like, so you know what's going to happen, how it's going to roll, what it's going to say. And then, you just do it. And then he'll just say, "Good job, well done today," and then that's it and go.
Yeah, cheers.
And not give you actually any feedback, he'll just say, "Well done."
Yeah, and you're not going to want to know how it went.
Well, you will, but, you're just going to have to... It's not a real test, you're not being assessed or whatever, it's just to give you format.
Right. Well,
so,
if you want to do one, we can. But before we decide on that, have a look at the lesson after and then decide. It probably messed her up. Really messed her up. And the people on YouTube are saying, "Oh, you're blaming YouTubers." No, I'm not at all. But what it did was it opened this thing where everybody was piling, "Oh, she needs to check her mirrors more, she needs to do this, she needs to do that." And as a consequence, she got herself into a right state. She didn't sleep the night before. And the hour before the test, she was all over the place. And I felt so sorry for her. There's not a lot I could do. No. Just say, look, just believe in yourself. Just do what you do. And we had a lesson yesterday, which I uploaded last night, and she had a great time yesterday. Everything just went, so normal service resumed. But yeah, it's an interesting one.
Could you not do a mock test?
Oh yeah, of course we can.
And then just not tell me any different, just say, "Oh, fine," or whatever. Well, just so I understand how it's going to work on the day,
of course we can.
But how they start it off, when you're getting in car and that, and what it says to you, and then as you're setting off, what it says, the only instructions that it gives you and stuff. Well, because that's the type of thing that I want to know, so that I'm not like, "What?"
Yeah. Do what? What? So okay, we can do that. That's not a problem at all.
So just try doing that.
And the other key thing is the silence. And I've been trying as hard as I can to be quiet.
You've done well today.
It's not my strong point, is it, being quiet? And to just let you get on with it. And that's what he'll do. He'll just say at the end of the road, "I'd like you to turn left or right," or whatever it happens to be. But we'll maybe do that next time, where we'll just run through one of everything.
Test,
and I'll just give you the directions the way he would. I'll tell you exactly what he'll say and that sort of stuff. Okay, we can do that.
So I'm thinking that's a better idea.
But it's the key thing for me is that the one thing that I really want to get out of, and the next time we bring new learners on, I'll be really, really careful to take care of that. You've got to learn to trust yourself. And we've got to do anything we can that's going to avoid this self-doubt coming in, and mock tests are a big one for that. Yeah. Or your friend said, "I'll tell you what you need to do, you need to make sure you move your head," and
Maggie at work does this all the time, and I'm just like, well, how long ago was it when you took your test? It's completely different, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, everybody's doing that with the best of intentions, and it's lovely that they do, because it means they care about you. But it's just, you then think, all right, I must remember and do that, I must remember that. You don't need to. The reality is, you don't need to remember to do anything. No. You need to just do what you do. Yeah. The stuff like when I asked you about that car. You just need to remember, you show me, tell me, don't you? That's all you need to remember, what bits are. Yeah, but we'll run through that as well, of course. Yeah. But that's all on the. You've got a real advantage here for your show me, tell me, because if you look at it on the DVD, it's this car. So it's all geared to that. Off you go when you're ready.
All right.
Great stuff. So you're happy with the way it's going? Feel confident, comfortable? Good stuff. So a lot of the time, the questions I'm asking and stuff is just to verify for myself that things are working the way that I think they are, because it is a different way of doing it to the way I've done it for 25 years.
Yeah.
When you consider the national average to get the test is 47 hours. Some sort of guide.
I don't think I'd have time to do 47 hours of driving.
Swung a bit wide, didn't he?
Yeah. It's like a boss, isn't it? There we go.
That's an interesting one. When things like that happen, and somebody appears as quickly and as large as he did,
Yeah.
it can rattle you a bit, can't it?
I was just thinking, well, I can't go anywhere because I can't reverse and I can't go forward, so I'll just wait and see what he
wait
does.
for him, yeah. Sometimes it can pick your heart rate up a bit, which can rattle you. That little breathing exercise we did ages ago can help with that.
Yeah.
Plus, what do you reckon it does to your decision making when you've been rattled?
Makes you a bit wary.
Turn it down a little bit, it's got a little
Yeah.
warm, hasn't it? That's why we're being sat.
But no, I can see where you're coming from with mock test, rattling you a bit. I think it just needs to be like a lesson on the test, you know, before the end instead
Yes,
of
how
mock.
it's going to be. Yeah.
And just so you know what format he's going to come in. It's not going to be like a normal lesson where he chats to you and he sends you and whatever.
No.
It's going to be quiet in it, so.
It is. He's now thinking about letting you across. But it was a good idea when you first started to take the position early.
Oh.
Just a little creak. Something else about city driving, they will let you push your way across as well. But you were going to go early and then change your mind, it seemed.
Well, I thought the blue van were coming down and I thought I may as well just wait till I get after traffic lights because I've still got all this to go
yeah,
yet,
either way
so.
would have been good, but it was a good idea to think about it when you did. And then you've not got the...
Plus I saw a yellow sign that says city centre that way and Barnsley Road and that this way, so I thought, well, at least then I know where I'm going.
That's something people tend to worry about. When it's coming up to test about stalling. And it's...
No, I'm not too fussed about that.
It's neither here nor there,
because
is
like
it?
you said, you just, as long as you deal with it properly, it doesn't make a difference, does it?
Did you deal with it properly?
Yeah.
Just calmly sorted it out. Off you went again. Tends to happen to people is the stall and then the hurry the next one and then stall a second time.
Yeah. Not quite again.
I talked into that one, didn't I?
Just thinking about it made me do it.
Odd little traffic intersection this is. Windscreen today, isn't it? Yeah, it's difficult this time of year when the sun's low in the sky as well. It can be quite tricky. And if you get a little bit of rain on the road, and then the sun comes back out, it's you need some cool sunglasses like the ones I'm rocking.
But then I can't see where I'm going, so it's not very good.
Well, she was sat chatting to her friend, so I suspect she didn't realise her indicator was on. But you were ready for them, which is nice. Tell me what you were thinking there.
I was going a bit too fast and I'd better slam on, so I thought better not, because there was a car behind me, so.
So if that happened and you were on test, what would you do?
I'd just tell him.
Yeah. Tell him what you've done, why you've done it. And then he knows it's not incompetent, that you've actually thought about it. Thought, nah, the car behind was a bit close. Yeah. I was too close to it, I would have had to brake hard. So, safer option was to go. Can't really argue, can you? So if a PC was to pull you over,
I'd just say the same thing.
You would have been able to say the same situation and say that, okay, you've thought about it. How about if the light had been red?
Then I probably would have had to try and slam on, just because it just depended on where traffic were coming from, and if there was actually traffic over at front or turning in or whatever. Because obviously they're not going to stop because they're not going to see me, so...
Yeah, because of course you want to have the hammer before it too, wouldn't it? You can make a case for going through an amber on safety grounds, although you should always try and stop.
Yeah.
You know, if, like in that situation, you're really close to it and the car behind's close to you, then the safer of the two options is probably to go. But yeah, anything that you do that's outside of the norm or is unusual, just talk to them about it. Same as you would me. Well, I've done that because. Still no signs of greenery in the hedgerows. I want it to be spring now, I'm sick of winter. Well, it hasn't been that bad really, has it? We haven't had a winter as such.
No, it's
been
not.
wet.
We had a little bit of snow and that were it for 10 minutes. 10 minutes worth of snow. But it might be doing what I did the other year. And starting spring and then suddenly snowing.
Yeah.
And killing everything off. I hope it don't.
Killed my palm tree in the garden. It's a bit daft having a palm tree and not really anywhere, so kill the top of it off. It's grown again from the base.
Yeah.
What made you allow him some extra space?
Just because I know I could give it, so... Come on! I would have thought, that's why.
Oops.
He didn't like that.
No.
But it's going better now, so... I thought I run third for a minute then.
Yeah, it's a good call. If you can give them more room, give them it.
Yeah. I thought it's just in case, isn't it? So...
On any other things that might influence it today?
Wind. Maggie's always going on because she cycles to it, you see. She only lives just over in the village. And she always says, comes back and says, oh, it's windy today. She said, come back in car after my lunch.
Last time we came back this way, we did the Grand Tour.
Yeah, I think you will.
Happy days. Houses up this end, isn't there?
Some nice ones behind my road houses, if you know what I mean. Ashgap Lane and then down bottom in there all nice as well. They're all fairly new as well, I think.
do think Fiestas look cute from well, I would say that.
It looks nice in red instead of that horrible.
Oh, of course, you got a new one.
Greeny manky colour thing.
Yeah, my daughter has that snot green colour on her Fiesta.
Oh, it's horrible. I asked for lime green and I got snot green instead. I was like, oh, fine.
That's the same colour as mine. So how are you finding the Fiesta now? You're getting used to it?
I like his other one, his newest one. I like that. The clutch is nice. I just don't like the gear stick and the handbrake, because the handbrake, it's hard to keep it on. I think it's on and it's not. And then I'm at a junction and I'm getting ready to pull out and it moves. And the gear stick, it's hard to tell when you're in neutral.
Yeah, there's not much.
It's quite stiff, if you know what I mean. It's not loose. So
Yeah.
that's because it's a new factory one, you see.
Well,
so it'll need a bit of wearing out.
And the gear to cross on this one is actually quite wide.
Yeah. Where's Battle Boot Wheelie Bins time?
Oh yeah.
They'll be all over the place. Although I don't think they've actually done too bad today. They seem to put them back in normal place. Did you have fun shopping?
I did, yay! A bit of window shopping. So how do you feel that's gone?
Fine.
It's all starting to just happen all the time now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You look in control all the time. You don't ever look like there's a box to be ticked for terrifying anymore.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I mean, that was interesting, when we hit that point, because it made me realise that, ooh, that's quite a strong word to use, that. I wonder why you said that. And then, of course, then we got into it, and it's. So I think we're going to go forward with a suggestion with that, but we're not going to use the word terrified. But it's just, we asked the question. Yeah, were you surprised by anything, good or bad? Yeah. And then it gives people a chance to say, well, actually, I'm not right happy with this. Could we do a bit more work on that? And then it just ticks that off in you. Because again, if there's something that you're worried about, the more you worry about it, the worse it gets. So my week is crazy. Next week I've got. Course I'm running on Monday, then I'm running a 3-day course Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I've got Claire out on Tuesday, so we could do Tuesday morning or Friday afternoon.
I have no idea. Where's my calendar? That's not my calendar. Is it somewhere around here? Huh? Oh, it's right behind your chair. That many different papers.
Oh dear, that'd be better if I did myself an injury lifting the calendar.
Right, so it's this week. Thursday's my only day off, but I finish work at 4:30, so.
Okay.
But I can't do Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon.
Right.
Because I've got courses on the evenings.
We're well on here, aren't we? Leave that with me. I'll see if it's 4:30.
And then it's driving test and.
Tell anybody.
I'm not bothered.
I'll maybe get out one of these days then. That might suit us better.
After
perhaps.
work. I'm working Saturday, Sunday.
All right. Oh, yeah, sure. I had it down as there, Don't know why I've done that.
I wish it were there.
Well, we can do that if that would make you happier. But let's leave it with me. I'll come back to you. Later on today about that one. We'll get out, because I'd like to get out a couple of times.
Yeah.
So I've got a concert on Saturday night, but that's over in Grimsby. But there might be some leave it with me.
Okay.
We'll come back on that one. So you think maybe a provisional thing for next time, maybe just to run it like it was a
mock test, but
and just sit down and say no, just give you the directions.
yeah.
Okay. And then what we'll do
I
is,
don't know what to expect then.
well, we'll get you to give the result,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we'll work through the form and say, well, what do you think about that? What about that? What about that? That might work better.
Yeah, and then I get to see what they're marking me on then as well, don't I?
Although it's in the book, if you look in the new book, the test sheet's in there, and it gives you a little bit of a guide as to what they're looking for in each section. But as long as you don't get bogged down in that and think, oh, it's got to be this, it's got to be that. You just got to show them your best stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the money. Everything's working. You're reacting to what's around you. You know, when I look at today, you think, well, that was a couple of things that maybe, a couple of gear changes, a stall, a gear change that went wrong, but it's not.
No.
It's nothing. And there's nothing that compromises safety, and that's the critical thing. Good job. I shall see. Well, I'll come back to you sometime today with a plan.